Hi everyone, this is Felicia here talking to you about the sewing machine parts. Now, here with me today I have the Brother XR1355. It's a computerized sewing machine. It is it's kind of I've had it for a few years. It's one of the ones that I use. It's not my normal one, but it is my sewing machine, and it's a perfect one for me to show you the general sewing machine parts on every single machine. Now, you might not have this exact machine, but your machine will have these parts. And you may have a little more, you may have a little less. Yours may look a little different, but nonetheless, they will be roughly the same. Okay? So let's get started. All right, so here we have a sewing machine. This machine does have a ruler here. It's both in centimeters and inches. The inches is the gray line, and the centimeters are across the top. This is pretty convenient when you are measuring something relatively small. Like this goes up to 14 inches or 35 and a quarter centimeters. So it's pretty handy if you're sewing something and you need to measure out measure something out here, measure out your elastic, fabric, or whatever it is, or even when you're lining it up, if you have this extended table on, even when you're lining it up to sew. So my machine here came with an extension table. I'm going to take that off and we're going to keep talking. So some machines will come with an extension table. Some machines will come with an extra with a piece, a compartment on and that you can take off to expose the arm. The arm is nice to have it exposed and to sew like this when you're sewing things that are circular, such as pants or skirts or sleeves, shirts, anything that is a circular motion. Now, if yours doesn't have a small enough arm so that your garment can fit, or whatever you are sewing can fit on it, then you can also still sew a circular motion with the flatbed too. Okay. All right. And since I'm down here already, we'll talk about down here. So here we have our bobbin. Down here is where we have our bobbin casing. Now, some machines have the top drop-in bobbin case, right? And some have the side bobbin casing. This particular one is a Brother, and I like Brother machines just because of all the pictures and doodads they have on here. They have the picture guide, and they also have like arrows and numbers, and everything is labeled, and it helps you to be able to be successful at threading your bobbin or threading your needle, winding your bobbin, all those things, right? So down here is our bobbin case. Most bobbin cases, I believe all of them, come with a door, a top, and our bobbin is just right down inside. If you're uncertain what a bobbin is, this is what a bobbin looks like. Now, if it were empty, it wouldn't have anything on it. It would just be clear. Now, bobbins come in various colors, right? You can get them in all kinds of colors. Bobbins are specific to machines, right? Meaning bobbins come in sizes. And so whenever you're buying a bobbin for your machine, make sure you read your owner's manual for the size bobbin your machine takes, because bobbins are not universal in size. Now, when we're loading our bobbin, we want to make sure that we have a P. Our thread is coming down from the left side, so it's like the shape of a P. We drop it in the top, and then you will follow the instructions or arrows on your machine and put your top back on. And there you have that. Now that's threaded. All right, next we have our presser foot here, and this can come off. Let me release it on my machine. This machine has a release button here on the back. I'll turn it so you can see. It's right here. So that button, that black button there, that's a release button. It releases the presser foot. This is the here presser foot lifter, so that goes up and down. There's a knob here. Oh, you still can't see it. Let me help you. This is the presser foot lifter handle. So you lift it up and down, right? And for this machine, I'm going to put this back on and I'll just lower it. And for all machines, really, this is how you would put it on. Not every machine will have a button to release the presser foot. But to put it back on, you simply put it back. Oh, let me show you. Because I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to line it up with this bar here. See that bar? That's where the presser foot lifter will attach itself. So with my presser foot lifter up, I'm going to place the presser foot beneath, drop it down, snaps on, and I'll lift it back up. Here's our needle here, and then here's our screw, excuse me, our screw to tighten our needle when we put it in or to take it out. This machine does have an automatic threader, right? And so some machines have that, some machines don't. All right, let's come on up to the top of the machine, which is usually where I start, but today we started a little different. Okay, so let me bring it up top. Okay, now up here we have our bobbin spool. Okay, up here is our our spool pin. I said bobbin spool. I'm looking at this and talking about this. This is our spool pin. Okay, so here yours may move. This one moves back and forth. Yours may move. Yours may not. Yours may be sticking sideways, horizontally, or it could be sticking up and down vertically. It doesn't matter which way it points, just as long as you have one, and every machine does. Okay. Next, we have in front of it is our bobbin winder. One of the reasons, and I said this already, that I like the Brother is because they have the pictures, then you have numbers and arrows. So I like that. It's very user friendly. So here's where if our bobbin is empty or runs low, we would wind our bobbin up here. Then we have up here we have pictures on how to either wind our bobbin, which would be the dotted line, how we would take our thread to wind it over to the bobbin, or the darker line, which shows you how to actually thread the machine. So this machine has these pieces back here, the knobs and gauges and things, so that you can properly thread the machine. Okay. This section here, these two slits, this is the thread guide. This is what helps to guide the thread up and down while you're sewing. So inside of here, if you look inside of your machine, I'm not sure you'll be able to see it in here. I know you can see this moving up and down because I'm turning the balance wheel, but there's a silver piece in there and it moves up and down. And that is what helps the thread to continue to feed through the machine. Now over here, which is the knob I was turning, this here is called your balance wheel. And this is what I was turning. And if you look here, right there while I'm turning, you'll see that moving up and down, right? Sometimes our needle is stuck and we might hand roll it through a little bit to help it. Or we might just need to go a few stitches and it might be a little bit more convenient to use your balance wheel. Now, this machine also has a thread cutter. Not every machine does, but this one does. All right. Now, one thing about this machine is it is a computerized machine. So here are all of the stitches that this machine can do. So we have about 155 stitches. And so with this, you would find the number that you want to stitch. You would put it on this screen here, whatever that number is, and there you would have it, right? Now, over here is this one here is how you would adjust the stitch length. Okay, this bottom one on this machine is how you would adjust the stitch width. All right, so on your machine you might have knobs, and your knob, so that would mean one knob would more than likely be a stitch width regulator, and one knob would likely be a stitch length regulator. So one for the width and one for the length, the same as this, right? You may also have a knob for your stitches. So it may be your stitch selection panel, right? But either way it goes, it may be a knob where you turn it and you pick the stitch you want. Here, this is our window, and that lets us know which stitch we've chosen and how long, the top one, how long the length of our stitch, and the width, how wide our stitches will be here. Okay. All right, we've discussed the needle, the take-up guide, the thread, Okay, this machine also, it has a fast, medium, slow, medium, and fast, right? Most machines you can adjust the speed, which is good for beginners or when you're sewing or teaching children to sew, because being able to adjust that and adjust the speed of the machine helps with the control of the fabric. It also helps to build your confidence because everyone does not start out sewing, on level 10, right? We got to start somewhere, and it's better to sew slowly and get it and be confident and feel good about it than to be frustrated and sewing on fast speed and just losing interest or becoming very frustrated. And for children, that can hurt their self-esteem, adults as well. So we want to, if you have um, a speed adjuster on your machine, please adjust it to slow or low, as medium at best while you're learning. If you can sew a straight stitch, you can pretty much sew anything. Now my machine also has this. It looks like it is a neat picture of a needle with a line through it. That is the needle moving up and down. So I will drop the needle. So now the needle would, if there were fabric there, the needle would be in the fabric, and I will lift the needle. Okay, and now the needle is lifted. You can set your machines on some machines, you can set your needle to, when you end sewing, to stop sewing, and it sews you end with the needle down in your fabric. And some machines you cannot. The benefit of having the ability to set your machine to end sewing with the needle down in the fabric is that if you need to pivot or backstitch or anything like that, then you're still pretty much lined up. Okay. This here looks like a U. It is the reverse, so it's when you want to sew backwards. And this here is automatic sewing button. I should have pushed it. All right. So what else do we need? We need our foot pedal. Now your foot pedal is what, of course, you push so that you can sew. Yes? All right. And so when we do that, when we have a bigger foot, so the heel of my hand will be my foot. My fingertips will be my toes. The heel of my foot should be on the floor, okay? With the toe of my foot pushing the machine down, okay? However, if we're younger and we have smaller feet, our foot might not actually fit the whole pedal, right? And so we want to make sure that we've adjusted it. We've sat it on maybe yoga blocks or some kind of a box or something, and made it adjusted it for the height of the sewer, and we still can be able to push it. Okay, we need to be able to push it down so that we can sew. Of course, all machines come with your cord, and that is it. So there you have your machine. Oh, wait. Feed dogs. Let me tell you about these feed dogs in here. All right, our feed dogs are what's down here. And this is what actually helps to, they're rigid things, so be careful. But these down here, this is what actually feeds the fabric and moves the fabric through. Okay, and those are your feed dogs. You also have your tension setters, but we won't mess with our tension until we know a little bit more about sewing. But on this machine, this is one of the tension settings, or a way to adjust the tension. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.